Hi and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin, and here I have my own stamped by myself designer series paper. I use Sweet Strawberry and Celebrate Sunflowers, and also the fabulous textures and frames that's available in the celebration August-September 2021. So I've got a birthday card to make for my sister, and I thought I would try and make it kind of as big as possible, really, because I want to try and use as much of this lovely paper that I've designed. So I think I'll make it an A5 card. So that's basically our A4 size in the UK and scored at 14.85 centimetres. So I'm going to score that like so to make my great big piece there. I've also grabbed out some of the really pretty papers from the paper pack that's a host paper pack. So if you place an order of over £150, or if you would like this pack and you're not likely to do so, but you do use your host code when you shop with me, then do get in contact with me, because I may be able to get this on your behalf. And it costs £17. It's worth £29, but it costs £17, and you can you get 48 sheets, and they are packed full of various different patterns, and just really great to have in your stash when you need something to make a card with. Okay, so I pulled out this paper here. Now, unfortunately, the blue is not quite the blue I was hoping for, because I used Pacific Point, and this is more of a Misty Moonlight, which is a more duskier blue. So I'm going to just set that aside for a moment. And my aim is to try and use a lot of this paper to just kind of show off the fabulous strawberries, and then maybe have a sentiment in the middle. So I'm trying to find a spot where I'm not going to interfere too much and lose the strawberry. So I'm thinking at that point there. So if I cut here and here, and then maybe fill in the rest with this lovely, the green and yellow, I'm thinking that is going to work. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, really. I'm just going to cut down that section there. I'm just also going to just double check what size that is, what I'm left with. Okay, I'm left with about 7 centimetres. I'm going to actually cut it there at 7. So cut that at 7, pop that there, and I'm going to twiddle this around and cut this at, if I do it at 12.85, it means that I know I've got 1 centimetre all the way around for my card here. See, look, I've got 1 centimetre all the way around. So basically I just need to cut off 2 centimetres off the top of this, because my card is 21 centimetres high. And cut off 2 there. Double check. I know you should probably measure twice, cut once, as they say, but no, that's perfect. That works really well, and I can then put that lovely piece in the middle. And I'm then thinking, what about creating a lovely green border all the way around my piece of paper? And I'll probably cut out the middle as well, because I don't want to waste that lovely paper. So I'm just going to measure twice. That's 19 centimetres. I want this at 19.5. I just want a very, very thin border, and it creates such an elegant kind of look when you put a thin border around your work. So I'm going to cut at 13.25. So there we have that piece. I'm just going to double check I've got my thin border to go all the way around, and just check how that looks on my card. Oh, wrong way around. So now for the center of this piece, I'm thinking about using this lovely yellow patterned paper, and then I'm going to stamp a sentiment in the center of that. So just going to measure this up and then cut out a panel to go inside there. So 6.5 by just under 10 centimeters. I wonder if it will work better in inches. Sometimes Stampin' Up do these, it's better by doing inch measurements. Okay, so I'm going to cut out 2.5 centimeters by 3 3/4. So that lovely scallop square comes from a very nice, just double check that, die set, and I'll get the names of all these things that I'm using and put them in the description so that you, if you'd like to purchase them, you can find out the names of them. So I'm going to just cut that there, ready to fit. Now what I should have checked was that the sentiment would fit in there, so I'm just going to bring over Happiest of Birthdays, which is this fabulous stamp set here, and yes, that will fit on top just about. Okay, so it's this one here that I want to use, and that, it looks fabulous. So I've got my stamp here, and what I've done to make sure that I stamp it as straight as possible is I'm going to place the stamp onto my block with this parallel line as parallel, sorry, straight line as parallel to the top and the bottom of my stamp as possible, and make sure that any side writing is a similar depth from the edge of the block. That way I know that what I need to do is make sure that the block lines are parallel to my piece of paper to make sure that it stamps accurately. So I'm eyeballing up and down, left and right, and go for it. Now there are ways to kind of disguise a wonky sentiment if you don't do it correctly, like adding some extra embellishments, which I may do anyway. So let's have a look how that looks on my card. And yes, I did realise that I forgot to switch my light on, so sorry about the little bit of shadow that was on here earlier. So there we go, that's looking good. I've got my little strawberries peeking out there from the sides. I'll just go a bit higher, and I'm wondering whether to actually cut out some 3D strawberries, or what about some cute flowers to just decorate the edge with. I think that might be quite fun. Now I don't actually have the stamp set, sorry, the punch, but what I could do is perhaps cut out some little flowers from the paper that I've stamped. Just looking to see if I've got any whole ones. Ah, never mind, no I don't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stamp some small flowers onto a scrap of cardstock, and thereby I can punch them out and use them to embellish. So I decided to cheat. I looked in my stash of really old punches, and look what I found. This is a really old one. I can't bear to part with it, and I've had it in my stash for a while. And look at this, it sort of fits, not exactly, but you know what, it's going to save me a heap of time. And then this is a retired Stampin' Up punch. It was with a set called Petite Petals, and it was so popular way back when. And there was also actually a flower punch that came out last year, but I re-gifted that on to somebody, so I don't have that one, but this one will do. Look at that, it works. So have a look in your stash, because sometimes you can, you know, figure a way around things. See what, you know, see what works. Yeah, that punch is getting a bit stiff. I'm hoping it's not going to give out on me one of these days, because over time I think plastic does perish a little bit, doesn't it? And I am worried that eventually this lever is going to go, but anyway, for today it works, so I'm using it. Yay, yay me. No fussy cutting for me today. Right, well, that was good fun. So I want to decorate then these little areas here that I've got They're a little bit blank. And see, I'm still thinking I need a little strawberry or something. I'm just going to see what these look like. And I'm just giving them a little bit of shaping with my fingers. You know, can't have naked, you know, flat flowers. Also, we need to do that lovely little yellow dot just in the middle, so they match all the other ones. There we go. Very cute. Now, the other thing I've realised is that we don't have... I was thinking we don't also have another section of this, so... I'm kind of wondering whether it would work better if I used... Just seems a little shame to cover up that square there. What if I go up there, and because I know I'm going to be covering those strawberries up there, what I could do is cut the strawberries out from underneath, because it felt a bit strange just having that blue section at the top. But if I move that up there, that means I can cut these strawberries out. Oh, and possibly the leaves. Okay, now this is a first for me. I don't think I've ever done this technique before. So I'm going to use my super sharp snips, because I know that these snips are really good at piercing things. I sometimes use these snips when I have to cut a quite thick cardboard, and I basically open them up and kind of use them as a knife, really. So I know they're good. So look, I'm able to get in there. I am going to miss out that stem. I don't feel like I necessarily need to cut all that out. So I'm going to go in carefully and cut out this strawberry here. And I think what I'm going to do is just, now I'm in there, I'm actually going to roughly cut it out and then do all the delicate cutting afterwards. So now here I do want to stay as close as I can, because I want that border not to be too thin. Okay, take that out. Yay! Right, let's see. So let's just bring that back in. So that covers up my hole. Shh, don't tell anybody it's there. They won't know. And then I can use my strawberries. Yay! I'm going to do some fussy cutting and I'll be back. So I've cut my gorgeous little strawberries out and I'm ready to start sticking some of this down. So I'm going to add just some wet glue now to my frame, and I'm thinking I want a little bit of dimension on this, so I've pulled out the thick adhesive strips. They're a little bit like the dimensionals in that they're obviously sticky both sides, but they're thicker and they are really great and super easy to use. I sometimes don't even bother cutting, I just rip them and they're quite easy to do. So there we go. So that's one strip does that, and I want to just reinforce the sentiment so that it doesn't kind of collapse. So I'm going to, I have rather put those extra ones in the middle. So now I'm looking at my stamped piece. I'm wondering whether to actually stick that down first of all, because it's got a big hole in it, which is all good. It's meant to be that way, but I think it will probably be easier to stick it without another layer attached. So more wet glue, and this is our kind of go-to glue. It's really easy to use. It also gives you a little bit of wiggle room as you're attaching your piece. So if you like precision, you like to make sure that everything is neat all the way around, then use this glue. The difference also between this and some other wet glues is that I think it's because it has some, I think it has a little bit of latex in it, so be careful, those of you who obviously have latex allergies. Just check the warning on the packaging. It's got less sort of water in it, so it means that it doesn't tend to crinkle paper like some other wet glues like PVA or that type of thing. Okay, so there you have it. There's my sentiment, and now I've got my gorgeous little straws, and I'm wondering whether I can have a little cluster of those. Now I would put them here, only I've got these strawberries here, so I don't really want to interfere too much with that. So I'm thinking let's pop those there like so, and get a bit more of this tape. Is that going to go there? Yep. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue because this is already lifted up. I don't need to put another bit of dimension there. That works fine. And then I think I will lift this one up completely. So I'm just going to put some added pieces on the back here and make sure this stays up. And as I said, I don't always use scissors. You can use scissors, you know, if you prefer to do it that way, that's fine, but sometimes I just tear it and it works. There we go. So we've got that lovely layer there. Now this little leaf has a little bit of blue on it because I obviously stamped it near one of these, but I'm hoping that it's not too noticeable, especially maybe if I cluster like so. Go. So again, I think I'm going to stick the first one down. Do I want to stick the second one? Actually, I think I might just stick it down because I've got all the other flowers and things to put on yet. So I've got my little dimensionals here, and I'm going to attach a few and then just play with the kind of placement of these. That looks quite cute, but this strawberry is quite a way up from the base of the card, so I'm going to put 3 dimensionals stacked on top of each other. Just make sure that... Oh no, that's not sticky. No wonder that's coming off. Okay, hold on, let's get another one. That wasn't working for me. Okay, so I'm stacking 3 on top of each other. I'm going to pop that there. This one can just slip underneath like so. Oh, how cute is this? So last year, so this card is going to my sister Esther, so I'm hoping she may have received this by the time this goes live. I'm busy this weekend at a online Stampin' Up event, so I filmed this ahead of time for you guys to enjoy. And yes, it's a global kind of leaders event, and I've attended them in the past, or I attended last year's one, and it was such good fun. I've already been sent my goodies, my little goodie kit, so I'm looking forward to using that over the weekend. There's some really kind of like useful items in there, so well done Stampin' Up, you've kind of knocked it out of the park, as they say. And so this is, yeah, going to my sister Esther, and last year it was her big 4-0, so she had a bit of a spectacular card last year, and some bunting, some birthday bunting, so I will put the link, I think, to that. I don't want it to have like 2, 2, 2 in that. I don't want it to be so symmetrical, so I think I might just pop one of those in a little gap There we go, that'll do. How cute is that? And I'm kind of itching to use some little gems on it, so I'm going to audition some little crystals and see how they look, because it just feels like they should have something. Oops, I'm trying to pop this off the backing so that I can see what they look like. Oh, and of course they look fabulous. So these are the genial gems in the current annual catalogue, and I'm thinking just on the bigger little flowers here, they just look so scrummy. Just to kind of get your eye focusing around the sentiment there, which I know is pretty big and I know you can notice it, but you know, why not? How cute is that? So let's just give those a little bit of a tweak. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you again soon. Take care for now. I'll put the ingredients list or the list of products used in the description for you to check out. Take care, guys. Bye.